Hey, and welcome to the 9th episode of the Brew Review. Food at the Troughs Brew Review, I should say.
Still awkward to say a little bit.
It is. This week we have a fun Dogfish Head beer for you. It is Sah'Tea, which... Okay, so Sah'Tea is actually... This is spelled T-E-A because it's brewed with tea. But like Sah'Tea as in S-H-A... Yeah,
S-A-H-T-I.
Yes. Is actually a type of beer. It's actually a thing. I didn't even know that. I'd never heard of it. But it's a traditional Finnish beer made with juniper berries. Often like without any hops at all. They use like either with juniper berries and hops or just juniper berries.
I hadn't heard of it until I read the side of this beer bottle.
Well, go ahead.
Which I will now read for you.
Boom.
Our Sah'Tea is based on the traditional 9th century Finnish recipe for Sah'Tea in that we brew it with rye and juniper and heat the wort with wood-fired rocks. We break with tradition by adding an exotic black chai tea at the end of the boil.
Yeah, so like it's definitely, like they take the Sah'Tea type of beer and then they turn it into tea with tea. Like,
because they actually add tea. You're fine.
But yeah, so I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
Other than that Dogfish Head is known for making ridiculous and very cool beers. So I'm excited to try, one of theirs that I haven't had before.
Sounds good.
Yep, let's go into it.
I gave you a little bit more head than I gave myself.
Anyway, let's dive right into it. Okay, so as always, break it down by the color, the aroma, and then the taste.
So not just the color going on here, but I've got a lot of sediment.
There's a lot of sediment.
I don't know if it's just a terrible pour on my part.
I feel like there's like actually a bunch of sediment, maybe like left over from the tea.
Yeah.
In the bottom of this. And so I think we're getting some of that in our actual beer. But other than that, it's a very nice orange, golden color.
Yeah.
Mine had good head.
That smells really good.
What does that...
It's very fruity. I don't have the smell of like the chai tea itself.
Right.
But it's not a wort flavor. It's not a malt flavor.
You know what it makes me think of is a Hefeweiss with like orange and coriander. That's kind of what the aroma, like I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but it's very reminiscent of a Hefeweiss with orange aroma.
I buy it.
So it's a very good aroma. It's not what I was...
absolutely.
I had no idea what to expect, but I was expecting something maybe more tart from juniper. I don't know. Huh. So, do you get that weird sharpness?
Yes.
That has to be the juniper.
I would expect so. Juniper is a very unusual berry. It's not like a sweet berry. And it feels like it would fit pretty well in a beer.
This is very interesting taste. There's like definitely multiple points where you're getting different tastes because it's very mellow and like you get the body and the mellowness that comes from the chai tea almost immediately.
Right.
But then I don't know how to describe that sharpness that like after you finish the swallow, it actually is in the front of my mouth and it's just like this weird sharpness that can only be from the berries.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It has a lot more body than I was expecting. It's a very full beer.
It's heavier than it looks. It looks a lot like just an amber or an ale, but it's got, like as Eddie mentioned, that full body flavor. It's a heavy beer.
Did we mention that it was 9%?
We did not.
Okay, so it's a 9%. So
I am getting some of that alcohol taste, but I don't know if I'm just confusing that with kind of that tea flavor. I get it in the middle of the sip.
I get it in the middle.
Yeah.
Because it's actually really interesting because you kind of get a little bit of this alcoholic, bubbly burn right in the middle, but it segues nicely from the chai flavor and then immediately is gone because of the juniper taste. So like, I'll admit, when I saw juniper, I was kind of expecting to get something like gin in here. Because like gin is, big burp. Gin is often always made with juniper berries. And
I have no idea.
Yeah. And so, but like you don't get any of like that ginny type of Christmas tree taste is what I was going for. You don't get that.
In terms of the flavor of the drink overall, it tastes like a beer. While it has that chai flavor and it has that juniper sharpness, it still acts as a beer. It's still, a heavy, full body flavor beer.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you think you're ready to rate?
Yes.
Okay. You want to go first?
I'm going to go middle of the road.
Okay.
And a lot of that's because I can taste the alcoholicness of a 9% beer. A lot of other ones that we've done have been able to mask that. They might not have been as high as 9, but like even 8.5 isn't that far off, and they were able to mask it completely.
Yeah.
I like the flavor of the chai. I wouldn't turn this away if it was given to me, but I'm not going to go out of my way to find it.
You know, I'm actually going to give it a middle of the road as well. It's definitely one of those that is very cool to try because it's so different than, you know, anything you're going to have otherwise. I don't, like, when they say this is like based on a Finnish traditional beer, man, I don't know if this could be my traditional go-to beer.
No.
This is... now I kind of wish we had even more ratings because I kind of wish it was somewhere in between now, but I'm going to go middle of the road. Good beer. Don't regret it. Probably not going to purchase it.
You would go between mid and up?
Yeah.
I would go between mid and down.
Interesting.
Yeah, if we had one more in that range, I would probably go a little bit down.
We shouldn't get into it.
But either way, it's still middle of the road.
So I think overall the Brew Review thinks it's decent beer, very much worth trying, very unique.
Yes.
So
unlike any other one.
Cheers to Dogfish Head. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.